Alright, so back in the gym with Waffle. She's very excited because I left her outside all day. And she sprinted straight into the gym when I was ready to go in. But what we're doing here is we're starting off with some weighted calf raises. I'm at 40 kilos, or roughly at the moment. So, I can't remember the last time I filmed. It's been a while. I couldn't concentrate when I'm like low on calories, and it's very hard to film or stay motivated to do all the editing and stuff when that's happening. So we're back now. I was in maintenance for a while. I had my photo shoot, so those photos still need to go up, and I'll share those. But now into a bulking phase, so I'm looking to bulk 0.25 kilograms per week. So we're tracking weight every single day. I stopped doing the body fat because it just wasn't that accurate. And what else am I tracking every day? I'm now getting up and tracking my blood pressure every morning and my heart rate, which is nice to track. And taking the photos. So those photos are going up on my Instagram every single day that I have the motivation to do, which is most days, which is good. And yeah, I think this is a new piece of equipment since I last videoed for you guys. It might be in some of my Instagram content, but it's not on YouTube, I don't think. But this is a Freak Athlete, and I've got all the extensions added onto it. So this is the new belt squat extension, and it comes with a bar for the floor, so you can do weighted calf raises. So when I say 40, it's obviously got a pivot point, the weight sitting out, and the weight sitting in line for your extensions and your curls, which is trying to mimic actual weight. But I think for the weighted calf extension, or the weighted calf raise, it's not actual weight, it will be a little bit lighter. So we've got 40 worth of plates on here. It's probably a little bit lighter than that. And we'll talk about my new program in a sec, but I'm starting 3 of the days that aren't the leg days with weighted calf raises, because calves can be hit quite a lot. So I think we're doing 3 sets. We're doing 4 sets of these. So I've just done 2 sets of 30. We're going to aim for 30 across the board. It was tough that second set. I generally drop off because I go really well in the first set. And what I tell most of my clients is the rep range that we're looking for hypertrophy is between 5 and 35 reps. So now that I've hit the 30 reps, if I can hit it across 4 sets or close to, so let's say I drop to 25 in the next set, next time I do this session I want to be doing more weight. Obviously I should or most likely we'll see a drop in reps, but then over the next coming weeks is we're pushing that upper weight back to the 30 reps for the 4 sets, and then we up the weight again. So that's how we're going to track strength over time, because I'm not going to swap between exercises. And then in terms of rest, I'm just resting until I'm feeling ready. So it's not too long, and then I'm jumping back into it. Especially calves. I find calves just like recover really quickly. Once you do this for the first time, and then you're just wrecked like 2 days later. But I'm past that. And go short rest. And get back into it. So I think I stopped there at like 23. Just feeling the burn. Take a 5-second rest and keep going. So with the program for the bulking, I've gone for a 4-day split, and I do chest, back, arms, legs, but then repeat. So I'm not just doing like 4 days a week. I'm doing 6 to 7 days a week. I'm going to rest when needed. But the idea is with that split is I'll do chest today. By the time today's Tuesday, by the time, what's that, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, by the time Saturday rolls around, my chest should be recovered and I'm hitting chest again. So I'm kind of expecting the days that I'm going to have the break is when I really need the break, because maybe I've hit the session. I'm expecting to recover because I am bulking, so I've got enough food. Or if I'm sick. Or if I've had a really busy day and I just can't make it to the gym and I'm not going to kick myself. Now, this program design, I would say, is not beginners. Because I would say in your beginning years of lifting is you have a problem with discipline and motivation, which I did, and most of my clients have, in that 1 rest day will quickly turn into 3 rest days if you're not programming the days that you're training, or you're saying, okay, we're going to hit 5 sessions in a week or 4 sessions in a week, and then you can have the downtime outside of that. So if you've got the discipline, I mean, you can do a 3-day split and just go 3 days on, do you feel recovered for the next day, do your first day again, rest when you need, do 6 sessions a week. Your rest day is just whenever you feel like it. But I find most people and most of my clients like tracking. Sometimes they barely train it as it is. We're just trying to work on nutrition, but that's the way it is. It's the way people's lives are, and it's the way human psychology works, I guess, with motivation and discipline. So we got to 27 that time, a little bit of a break. 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 30. Okay. Alright, so one isn't quite unbroken, but we're definitely going to go up in weight next time. See how we go, but it's good to hit 30 across the board. See how we go. So rating. So I've just got a 1, 0, -1 reading scale, which isn't working on my program that I've got, but whatever. So yeah, we're going into chest now. So I've got dumbbell incline chest press, dumbbell chest chest fly, upper chest cable fly. So I'm going to be doing that standing on my cable machine. Dumbbell incline reverse fly. So I'm going to be leaning against the bench doing a reverse fly. A bit of an incline, dumbbell lateral raise. And we're going for volume. So all of this is volume. I'm pushing close to failure, but not quite. So for all of these, what I'm aiming for, sorry for the mess in the gym. Oh, I will tell you about Freak Athlete, excellent customer support. So one of the pieces didn't fit quite because of the machining, I couldn't get the pin through. And I messaged them, and then within a day, they sent me a brand new box with everything, even though I only needed one piece. So I guess like, logistically, they just don't have spare pieces, but customer satisfaction through the roof. I'm going to do a review for those guys for the Freak Athlete that I've got. I'm actually kind of waiting on I've ordered a cable attachment which comes out in June, I think. But I've kind of been holding out on that to do the review. So we will see, and I don't know where this, I think this is for this thing over here. Yeah. This is my cable machine. Feeling pretty good about the gym at the moment with all the equipment that we've got. I actually bought these 2 boxes to do belt squats with the plates, with the rig, but then I bought this, so, and I just have 2 boxes. For just in case, get back into CrossFit. One was going to be a pain button later. That's all good. Alright, so, incline chest press, let's clean up some of the weights. Not be slobs in our own gym. Oh, it's starting to get a bit cold here. It's not too bad in the afternoons, but yeah, definitely getting chillier in the mornings. Just great for my dual-coated waffle when we go for strolls in the morning. She's looking at me because I said strolls. Can't say the W word, otherwise she'll get ideas and want to go somewhere. You guys can get a good view of her. Incline chest press first, so we'll see. Need to go up a little bit. So, not necessarily pushing to failure. Probably gonna go, honestly, let's start out a bit lighter. It's been a while since I've done chest, so 17.5. I'm gonna warm up with some push-ups. Waffle's gonna get all up in my business. You're all up in my business, won't you? Yeah. You were so excited to come in the gym, weren't you? You want to say hello to all of our watchers? Come here. Come here. For those that haven't met, this is Waffle. She's alright being picked up. Not the greatest fan, but alright. So let's go to 17.5. Again, this is just us aiming for 5 to 35 reps. I'm gonna get as deep into the stretch as possible. So with all movements, you want to push as deep as you can into the movement. So for the dumbbell press, that means getting the head of the dumbbell as close to our shoulders as we want, if not a bit past, to really stretch out the chest. You don't want to go too heavy too quick because you don't want to tear any of the ligaments or tendons in the connective tissue. So we need to be careful, don't we? Oh, thank you. Alright, out of the way. Over there. It's a deep stretch. Go fast on the way up, then we want to go slow on the way down. So we did 17 there. My method of effort of tracking this is 17, I think I said. Is reps in reserve. So this is week 1. We're going 3 reps in reserve for each movement. It'll be trying to go until I know I've got about 3 reps with good form. So for me, 3 reps left is like when I'm really starting to slow down. And I know 2 reps will be like that grind to push the last 2 reps. So that just comes through kind of years of experience and just training and knowing the movement. So obviously if I do a new movement, that feeling is more foreign. But for movements that I've done for weeks and weeks and weeks, especially doing all this in my last cycle with the lower calories, like I know where that feeling is for that 3 reps in reserve. And it's hard to kind of explain or even cue. And it more just comes out of you, like your own mental fortitude and feeling it. And obviously, like, if I had a training partner, I'd probably lift heavier, go for longer. So it's all your own mind games when you're doing this. So for this is also 4 sets. So we're aiming for the 17 reps. If we can maintain the 17 across all, we're gonna up this to 20 next time I do this session. And sorry for the blocked nose. I feel really sick, I had a chest infection, but took a long time off training, kept up the nutrition, my weight stayed the same, which was good. But I've just got the tail end of it where I've got a bit of a head cold still. But feeling so much better. So that really helped, taking that time off. Let's give it about another 15 seconds. So get that stretch first. So for the keen eyes there, you might have seen like I was struggling more towards the end. But I guess after the first set for me, once I've hit the rep range of 3 reps in reserve, I'm actually targeting a rep target. So for me, that was probably close to the 2 reps in reserve for that second set, in between the 3 and the 2. But I know that I want to try and hit 17. So if I was really struggling, I would come out of it, rest for 5 seconds like we do with the calf raises, go back in and finish the last few reps. So let's say we got to 15, come out, rest for 5 seconds, go back in, do the last 2 to hit the 17 reps. And then as a measure of strength and progress, so if I remember next time and I'm like, oh okay, I hit 17 across the board, that's not that high in reps, we're not approaching the 35, but maybe I don't want to go up to 20s, I'm going to stay at 17.5s, but I'm going to aim for 17 reps in a row. Once I do that, then I'll go up to the 20s. You can save yourself time if you like, not wanting to push out a whole bunch of reps each set and going up in weight, but as long as there's a way to track your progress, so consecutive reps for a set, increase the reps over time, or increase the weight. That's how we track strength over time. Alright, third set. So that was only 12. So I'm fatiguing really quickly. One more rep to do. Oh, so 17 with 2 breaks. So definitely next time I do this session, we're staying at 17.5. I'm going to try for 17 in a row across all sets. So we've got the dumbbell chest press next. So we're in a better mechanical position for our chest. It's 3 sets. So I'm probably going to do 7.5s again. See how my chest goes. I got one more set of the inclines. But building muscle and strength is easy. Just like progress over time, like I said, with the reps and weights. Then we're also making sure we feed ourselves well enough, making sure we're getting our protein and calories required. So you can use a website like caloriecalculator.net, I think it is. They also have like a macro calculator. Realistically, it's not that complicated. It's just getting into a habit of tracking and doing it every single day. And it's not like overnight you can do it or it's easy. Like it's small life changes as time goes on, and even now like I'm improving, but yeah, bits at a time. Alright, so we're gonna get into our last set. Aiming for 17. got 8 that time. I'm finding my triceps are giving out here before my chest does. Alright. So we're at 10, we've got 7 to go. I'm going to give myself a little bit more rest. We're going to hit the volume though. I'm going to go for 17. Good thing I'm filming, because without the camera I probably would have given up and gone, yeah, let's just record that at 8. But instead of what we're doing, this is where a training partner helps, keeps you accountable. Keeps pushing you. 11. Alright, we got 4 more. Probably sets of 2. Definitely triceps, so I'm thinking for the next set, we might actually drop to 15s. We're going to be doing a lower rep range with the volume. Three there, I got 1 more. Alright. We hit 17. It's definitely a good pump there. I'm feeling it. I think with my own training, but also watching my clients grow over time, just seeing the value of consistency. And consistency in all areas of life. If you want to be good at something, you have to do it again and again, show up day by day, week by week, put in the effort. And yeah, one of my clients recently, she started off with me about 5 weeks ago now. Couldn't do a push-up on her toes at all. And hit 3 sets of 5 last week, so 4 weeks into her program. And one of the biggest things for her was she was not eating enough food, so it meant that when she hit the gym, she was not having the energy to do it. Now, she hasn't fluctuated in weight at all, she's actually stayed quite stable. We've just dropped her calories a little bit, but her body composition is looking much better when we compare the photos between week 1 and week 4. And that's like a month's worth of training. So she's very good at tracking her nutrition and tracking all of her exercise. So the consistency to the plan that we've outlaid has helped lots. Whereas I've had clients with me since November last year and their progress hasn't been as good. But I know their tracking and their commitment towards the program is lacking in comparison. So once you can nail down consistency and listen to someone who lays out the plan for you and knows just that that'll help, you'll see progress much quicker. Like you'll see it within a month, 2 months, 3 months, whether that's strength, whether that's body composition, whatever it is you're aiming for. All right, so we're gonna do, I'm now 15s. Dumbbell chest. Oh, not 5s. We're gonna go for 15s. So we did 17s before. I'm already feeling a pump. Like, look, if I'm getting like 12, 13, I'm kind of happy here. We're only going for 3 sets, 3 reps in reserve again. So feeling it on the first set and matching reps with the other 2. Oh. Get the stretch. Oh. kind of where I thought it was going to be. So definitely if I push past 12, that would have been a slog for the last 2 reps, but I'm happy with 12. Coming off the back of the inclines. Again, like I felt the fatigue a little bit in the chest. Pretty sure my limiting factor at the moment is my triceps. I'm getting a lot of pump in them as I'm pushing, which is okay. Like they're a muscle that's part of this movement. Where we're going to get some of that final pump is when we do the chest fly, because we're isolating it away from the triceps. While I've been getting the pump here, getting the fatigue, and I'm getting the volume into the triceps, I now want to push the volume into the chest. So when I take over to the chest machine, I'll show you the few different things that we're going to be aiming for, but we're going to be aiming for the upper chest, so we're going to be going from a lower angle. I had yesterday off though because I was still feeling a bit sick, and was slipping a little bit on the motivation, so really pushed myself to train today. And part of it was filming for you guys, just so you can see new program, new bulk and pace, motivate myself a little bit as well. Alright, 12 reps. So with this movement, where I'm stretching myself to is on the outer part of the dumbbell head. I'm like touching to the outer part of my pec on each side. And that for me, that's where my mobility ends. But I'm very careful to, as I come down, to let the weight sink as low as possible, because I don't want to go to move, let it sink further and then explode out of that, because as I go heavier, there's risk of that tearing something in the chest. But if I let it sink down, then it's all strength out of that. If I can't get out of that, then the weights need to drop. But I'm not approaching maximal here. For me, it's volume, it's pushing heavy weights, but high reps as well. Because as I get older, I want to try and avoid as much injury as possible. So we got one more set at 12. And that's it for this, and then we move into the chest fly. Alright, last set. Then we move on to the, oh no, that's the flat chest fly first next, before the cable. Oh, so we're still isolating. So I'm feeling pretty fatigued. So flat dumbbell chest fly. We're gonna go for 10 kilograms. Around that 12 rep range, I think, again. We'll see how I feel. I'm actually trying out my new spreadsheet program that I've made for LPT clients. So it does some periodization where it gives suggested increases in weight. Obviously you can go with how you feel from the week before. Like for example, my reps were high enough that it's suggesting for the incline press to go to 20 kilos next week. But we're not going to do that, we're going to stay at the same and go for increase in the weight. And then it's an 8-week program cycle for what we're doing. So if you're a client, you get access to this for lifetime. You can use this again and again, no matter how long you're training with us. The idea is that when you sign up with LPT, we give you the education you need to continue whether you're with us or not. The longer you stay, the more education you get. Mostly what I see coaching for, I do coaching myself, like I go and get coaching, is we're doing 3 sets. You get the accountability for coaching. So there's no gatekeeping your knowledge. All this knowledge you can get online. We don't get it as tailored to your current needs. Or if stuff comes up in your life, you don't get that. But you get the accountability week by week, that you get to check in with the coach to talk about challenges that you have and fixing the program. So that's the whole idea. All right, chest flies. Ugh. Letting. So I had a client today, we had a meeting, and he's doing like a basic program that you could grab anywhere. He's trained for a long time, so it's a basic strength program. He's just getting back into it after having quite a long time off. His nutrition's been really bad, so we're definitely focusing on that. But with his training, he plays sport, plays AFL and netball, I think. I don't know whether he's still playing that. Has played that, but he's had a few injuries, injured his back. So one of the things we spoke about today, because he was really struggling with compound movements that require core stability. So things like standing shoulder press and squats. Now, he was doing one of them, and then because he was getting back pain, he was not doing the rest of his program. So he was only getting like a third way through his program on the days that he had things like standing shoulder press. Now, he has a very common problem with a lot of people in that during the standing shoulder press, he's leaning back slightly, trying to incorporate more chest muscle. But then that's aggravating the back because his spine isn't staying neutral, it's curving backwards. What my suspicion is, and he's gonna go get some scans to back this up, but that he has something like a bulging disc in his back, which is a very common issue with a lot of adults. And when you put your back into that compromising position, it's aggravating that bulging disc and then causing back pain to radiate, which will dissipate over time, but it prevents you from training in that session anymore. Now, to counterbalance that, he needs to maintain a neutral spine during the standing shoulder press. But if he can't do that, even if he drops the weight, what we need to do is do core stability exercises to strengthen overall core. And when we say core, we don't just mean the front, we mean the front, the sides, and the back. Core is everything around. So tonight I'm going to look at his program. We're going to program some more core stability exercises. We're going to make sure he does them. And then when we go into the next mesocycle, so after 4 weeks, we'll throw back in one of the exercises like standing shoulder press. We'll go at a lighter weight, but we'll maintain and be very cognizant of maintaining that core stability when he's doing the press, so that both the exercises are paying off, because the exercises is just helping maintain that core stability. You're not going to really get rid of that bulging disc, like that's always going to be an issue. But if you're doing exercises properly, there's no reason you can't do them. So that's just one example of things that come up when you're training. If you've got small little injuries, if someone's like, just avoid exercise, that's not the correct answer. The correct answer is finding a way to exercise and increase your strength, because most likely that injury is not going to go away. You're going to be living with that, so you need to strengthen the muscles around to support your longevity. Anyway, rant over. Let's get back into this. We're aiming for 13. I must say, the other thing you can do with volume week on week, so if you're not upping the weight or the reps, you can actually add another set as a way of increasing volume. Now, increasing volume is great for hypertrophy. You're training the muscle more under fatigue, and if it recovers, then you're improving strength. So you'll often see that with a lot of programs, is they'll increase the sets over time as well. So week 1, you might only be doing 2-3 sets as a way to get into it, feel out the weight, figure out like what weight you can do, but it'll quickly escalate. The first thing that escalates is the amount of sets. So you'll go from 2 sets to 3 sets, and those 3 sets to 4 sets. By the end of your program, you're then doing things like, in my case, like 6 sets with things that are lighter weight, but you're still doing high volume. So when I think of that, I'm thinking like dumbbell lateral raises. Now, why I'm thinking that is because here I've got 2.5s, 5s, 7.5s, 10s, and then 12.5s goes up by 2.5 each time. The jump in doing a dumbbell lateral raise by 2.5 kilos per arm is significant. It's very hard to do. So what we can do is just increase the amount of sets we do. So I'm doing 16, 18 reps of dumbbell lateral raises. If I need to add more volume to improve my strength, then I just throw in another set of 16. Ideally, like I would love to do jump. So at the moment I'm at like 7.5s. I'd love to do 10s, but there's limiting factors to how much your muscles can lift. So again, long way around. Way to improve that, increase sets, increase reps. All right, we got one more set of these. We're at 13s, then we're onto the cable flies. Another way to throw it in if you need to increase the difficulty of your exercises and you can't jump weights, just slow the movement down. The longer you are under eccentric movement, so usually where the weight's moving under gravity, the harder it'll be. So eccentric on those is from the top down to the side of your body. That's the eccentric movement. All right, where am I going to set this up? Let's go over here. Try and get some good lighting in. I'll be a bit obstructed from the bike, that's all right. So we're doing lower to up. So I know my back's bent for this, for some of it, but essentially, got this cable machine. It's got 3 attachment points. It's got one down the bottom, one in the middle, one up the top. And we're going to go from the bottom, and we're going to go into a scooping motion upwards for the fly. So doing this single arm, I would love to have a cable machine where it's like the corner one or the free motion ones where you can move your arms around. They're very expensive. So if anyone wants to donate one to LPT, let me know. And I would give you free programming. Alright, so we're going for what are we going for? I think it's 3 sets upper chest cable fly. So single arm, probably don't want to be lifting. I'm not going to be lifting 30, that's for sure. I'm going to go with 10s first. Let's see how this feels. The other thing to know with this machine is that it's got like a plastic sleeve on a metal square pole, and so you get a little bit of friction when you're pulling it, so it's not quite true to how much weight you're pulling. Again, like this was a cheap purchase. I picked this up from, I don't remember. I mean, it's good. Like, it's good for what I paid for it. It was like $300 Australian plus shipping. And when there's a few like electric cable attachments that you can put on rigs. So there's one that's really expensive, but there's a new one competitor coming out, and I'm waiting for them to release. See if they're any good. Have those as part of my gym system. I think that's like the next purchase I'm making. All right, so that's not too bad. So there. I'm doing the left first because that's my weaker side. You always want to do your weaker side first when you're doing unilateral. Okay, so definitely feeling it there. Now what I'm doing, I'm looking in the elbow at an angle. I am engaging some of the bicep, but then I'm feeling that movement, and I'm feeling for the activation of the upper chest. And I'm trying to make sure I target that the whole time. Now, this isn't perfect. Ideally, what I would love is if I had 2 cables either side, I could set up an incline bench, and from behind, I'm bringing that motion forward, and it's even both sides. That would be great. That would be ideal. There's a little bit of motion in the torso. I'm engaging that bicep. Sometimes I'm pulling a little bit too much. It's not all isolated into the chest, so it's not ideal. But we are fatigued. We've already done a whole bunch of exercises, so that's okay. What I'm talking about there is optimization versus just work. So this isn't optimized. It's not the best, but we're still going to get benefit out of it. So we did 10s there. Could definitely go more, I think. We're going to stick with 10s just because I'm feeling a little bit tired. This is first day. So when I hit this session again on Saturday, we'll definitely, on this one, be looking to hit more than 10. Staying at 10 kilos, but more than 10 reps. So this is then 3 sets as well. So next week, we're looking to stabilize the reps and the weight. Then I'll probably look to increase the set volume. And then we'll look to increase the weights again. So you can see as I'm training, I'm like planning out future sessions, what I'm going to be building to. And this is what I do for my clients, is that they don't have to think about it, but when I look at it, like if they come to me and they're like smashing something and hitting out a whole bunch of reps, I'm like, well, let's increase weight. Can't make that jump because their gym doesn't have the weights or it's too hard, which happens, especially upper body with women, then increase the sets. But we're always making progress. Alright, let's get into this again. Activate the chest. Can definitely feel the pump on the chest. We've done a lot of volume. So we've got the incline bench reverse flies next. And then 4 sets of lateral raises. So two exercises left. What are we on the recording? How far into the session are we? We're almost 55 minutes in. So I need these sessions to be longer. Another thing to consider if you're programming your own stuff is how much time do you have in the gym? Fit in the reps, fit in the volume. For clients who are more time poor, I'm not putting in this much volume into one, but then again they're unlikely to be doing a 4-day split with rest when they feel like it. They'd be doing a 5-day, so like 2 of the exercises from each of the days can be pushed into their 5th day. They're spending like about an hour in the gym less to get through all those exercises with their rest, with their volume. But it depends. Some people get really bored and they want to do half an hour in the gym. That's okay as well. Gains aren't going to come as fast, but if they're dialing in their nutrition, they're going to hit their goals. the end 10 was a good rep range for that. Alright. Bench reverse flies. Now, it's an exercise I haven't done for a while. So, probably at that height, second height on the bench. And alright, so yeah, exercise I haven't done for a while. This is going to target just something a little bit different. It's the rear delts, right? A little bit of back activation, but we don't want to engage the back too much. So I'm thinking tens is probably good. So the trick or the trap here is not to engage too much of the back muscles and mainly engage the rear delts. So I'm going with the 10s. I might even drop to the 7.5s. Contemplating, do I just drop it now? We're going to do 4 sets. Do 10 for that last one. We're going to stick with 10s. 4 sets. Nope. Definitely need to drop that. I'm not getting good range of motion. I'm also not getting a connection with the rear delts that I would like. I didn't go to 5s. So this is what I was saying about new movements, figuring out your weight, your 3 reps in reserve. So I'm getting much higher here. I'm trying to focus on the rear delts. So this is going to be a lower volume. Clearly I haven't trained my rear delts in a while. So when I say rear delt, let's look at this for a bit. So your delt is kind of your shoulder muscle. You've got 3 main parts to it. You've got your front delt, so anything pushing, front raise, that's going to hit your front delt. Your lateral delt, which is kind of not hit a lot of the time in most movements, like overhead movements, yeah, depending where your shoulder placement is. So if your elbows are in front, it's going to incorporate more of the front delt. But the reason I always like doing dumbbell lateral raises is because it really targets that side delt. Now, your rear delt is any pulling motion. So things like rows, that kind of thing. But clearly in this, like I've been rowing using a lot of my back, I've neglected some of my rear delts. That's why I'm feeling so weak in it, which is why I put this into my program now, just because I haven't had them in for a while, and it's kind of showing that my rear delt's probably a little bit weak. So this will be one to watch over the next couple of weeks. So track progress in this. But that was 11 reps at 5 kilos, so much lower than I thought. I could have done the 10s, but I would have been using my back. Not getting full range of motion, so 5 kilos. We're aiming for 11 reps across the 4 sets. We have 3 more sets to go. That's where the ability to count goes out the window when you're doing weights. I always say that's why plates are colour coded. Your brain reverts to like a 5-year-old. You only count weights by colour. Finishing this work, right in time for the dog's dinner. Waffle's patiently sitting there watching the outside world. What have we got for dinner? We've got chicken burgers. I've definitely gone away from eating out. I love a good burrito. Love eating out. It's too expensive these days. We bought stuff for burgers last night, where I did like a slow cooked beef. So the beef, used up all the additional beef, but I sectioned it into like 7 lots of 100 grams into containers to eat through the week. I used the rest for 3 burgers. Got some salad, still had some cheese. So I don't know what the roast cost me, $17 for like a 1.9 kilo roast that I slow cooked. But then all the other ingredients were like $20 a lot, whereas out these days it's like $50. It's fucking criminal. And like if you're in another country, maybe you get good servings. Like when I've travelled, takeaway is still like good serving. When I was in Korea, things were more expensive, but the serving sizes were great. But in Australia, it's ridiculous. You got nothing, that shrinkflation that's happening. When you're trying to build muscle and strength, shrinkflation is the last thing that we're doing. We want swoleflation. Alright, we got one more set of these. Then we're into the jumbo lateral raises. Those have been a while. I think I'm going to go up to 7.5 for those. Last set. So I got fatigued there and started using my back muscles. Not ideal. First 2 sets were really good. Oh, okay. Let's do this. I can tell you, I'm going to be feeling this tomorrow. So 4 sets, I'm doing these at 7.5. think, yeah, this is 4 sets as well. Quite a lot of volume today. But it was good. Not what we used to, but it has been a while. That's what we're aiming for though. So, one of the things that I've got upcoming is Lifeline has their push-up challenge again. They normally do the amount of push-ups over about a month. So I think it's in June for the amount of suicides that there were. And I looked at the numbers, I think it's from 2023, the number. Something like 3,700 something push-ups. But I'm going to be doing a challenge. So for the month, you can sign up. I'm going to be having a group program for people who sign up and do the 8-week challenge. They're going to be doing the push-ups. And for everyone who signs up for the challenge, with doing the push-up challenge as well, and you'll get some nutritional guidance in there. But I'm going to donate your first week of training for that 8-week challenge to Lifeline. So if you're thinking about donating to charity, you want to do a challenge, you want to do an 8-week challenge, and you want to get into some training, it's the perfect opportunity because I'll donate some of the money for the challenge to Lifeline, which is a great cause, helping prevent suicide and having a call centre there for those in need. But also a great way to get into fitness, and fitness is such a great way to help with mental health, particularly if you're a busy professional like I am, where you're sitting at a desk all the time and things get really stressful. So I'll have a post up with some sign-ups soon, but if it's something you're interested in, please sign up. We'd love to have you on board. We'll have a little WhatsApp group to track everyone's progress, to see how we're going, encourage each other. I remember doing the challenge 1 year, and it's a lot of push-ups, so you have to kind of stay on top of the push-ups per day. So the other program around the push-ups will be a lot of mobility, working on lower body stuff. It's all going to be free weights, so you don't need access to a gym. And then it'll be helping you with tips every week on how to dial in your nutrition. So 2 more sets here. I'm going to sign off. Enjoy the night, enjoy your training. If you need help, hit me up on LPT. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can catch me on Discord, but I'm there to help you stay accountable, get your training, get your nutrition in line. Let's fucking get it.